This video is part 8 in a series that provides an overview of the National Folklore Archive Initiative, NFAI, and an introduction to the function and content of its Folklore Collections Database, the FCD. Video 8, Describing Your Collection, an Overview of Object Records. At this point, you will have created a record for your repository and created records for all the entities, individuals, organizations, and meetings associated with the collection you intend to enter into the FCD. In this video, we'll present an overview of object records, what an object means in the context of the FCD, and the types of object records one can create. In the next videos in this series, we will go over how one creates the different types of object records. In the context of the FCD, object records are where you will describe the actual stuff, the content and organizational structure of a circumscribed body of archival material. There are 6 types of object records one can create in the FCD: collection, series, subseries, box, folder, and item. A repository holds archives. Repositories organize their holdings into conceptual units grouped around a number of criteria. In FCD, these conceptual units are called collections. The collection is the highest tier of description in the FCD. In this example, I've identified the repository as the Vermont Folklife Center and the collection as the Margaret MacArthur Collection. An archival repository will normally hold more than one collection, and often these collections will represent different types of organizational activities. For example, research projects, organizational programs, or donations of materials to the repository, such as personal papers and field recordings by outside researchers or organizations. Repositories each have their own criteria for what constitutes a collection. In the FCD, the collection record is the first object you create. The other types of object records, series, subseries, boxes, folders, and items, are considered to be parts of the collection and are created from within the collection record itself. FCD is built around repositories entering detailed collection-level records, and at this point in time, no repository is required to enter details beyond the collection level into the system. However, if a repository would like to go into greater detail in their descriptions in the FCD, the NFAI project certainly encourages you to do so. Series. A series is a conceptual and organizational unit within an archival collection. When series are used in the FCD, they represent the second tier of your description. When a repository uses series to organize and describe collections, often the distinction is employed to separate different types of records from within a collection. For example, audio recordings, photographs, and manuscripts, or research records and administrative materials, or work created by different individuals. Not every collection will be subdivided into series, nor will every repository use series distinctions in their archival descriptions. If your collection descriptions don't include series, don't worry about it. Just ignore the series object type and stick with the object type or types that are relevant to your materials. A subseries is a conceptual and organizational unit within a series. When subseries are used in FCD, they represent the third tier of your description. The box and folder object types refer directly to the containers of archival material itself. Since arrangement of archives naturally precedes description of archival collections, Units of physical organization like boxes and folders are often part of archival finding aids. The final object type in the FCD is the item. In essence, the item object type is used to describe in detail the actual things that make up the collection: the photograph, the recording, the transcript, the poster, the brochure. Item is always the bottom tier of the description in FCD. In collections that do not have series, boxes, or folders as a part of their descriptive structure, items exist as units directly under the collection. In collections that have series distinctions as part of their descriptive structure, items exist as units under each relevant series. In this example, we have series for audio recordings and photographs, and the respective items are described as a component of each. If boxes or folders were used, items would be under the boxes and folders in a similar way. In conclusion, object is the term used in FCD for the type of database records used to describe archival content. The 6 types of objects: collections, series, subseries, box, folder, and item represent different and occasionally overlapping levels of description. Collections are the primary unit of description in the FCD and are required. Series and subseries represent aspects of conceptual organization employed by some repositories. Boxes and folders are physical containers that are often used to structure archival descriptions. Items are the archival materials themselves. Series, subseries, box, folder, and item records exist as part of collection-level records and are optional descriptive elements in the FCD. In the next videos, we will go over the creation of each type of object record: collections, series and subseries, and box, folder, and item.